Women have reached positions of power in society for most of recorded history. Whether society has been ready for it has been a different matter. The first well-documented female leader in history was Hatshepsut, Pharaoh of Egypt for 20 years. She wore a fake beard and took the title king, not as an imposter, but because those were the only words and images that represented power in her society. Women have commanded armies for millennia, but have often been seen by their peers as masculine. Artemisia commanded Persian troops under Xerxes during the invasion of Greece. Centuries later, Elizabeth I reigned over the golden age of England for 45 years, and still had to deal with her closest advisors telling messengers that certain information was too much for a woman's knowledge. She once addressed her army saying, "I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and a king of England too." It took common women to change those ideas. Olympe de Gouges did not inherit power being a butcher's daughter. The first feminist activist, when the French revolutionaries published the Universal Rights of Man, she published the Declaration of the Rights of Woman. "O women, women, when will you cease to be blind? What advantage have you received from the revolution?" She was eventually put on trial and beheaded, along with many early supporters of the revolution. The modern era brought a new kind of power, based on popularity and merit, not divinity and birth. In 1960, Sirimavo Bandaranaike became the world's first female Prime Minister in Sri Lanka, after her husband was assassinated and she ran for election in his place. While in power, her husband only let her serve tea to the politicians who visited their home. But she would be Prime Minister 3 times. But it was Golda Meir of Israel who was the first woman to rise through the political ranks by herself. She was dubbed the Iron Lady by the press long before Margaret Thatcher. Serving as Prime Minister from 1969 until stepping down in 1974, she became a role model for women around the world. But she opposed feminists, describing them as those crazy women burning their bras. Today, there are women in positions of authority in almost every field, but worrying statistics accompany every one of them. In media, there is no more powerful public persona than Oprah Winfrey. In a 25-year reign as the Queen of Television, she attracted weekly audiences of over 70 million people and continues to broadcast to 145 countries. Her endorsement of Barack Obama swung 1 million votes away from Hillary Clinton in the 2008 primary election. But in 2013, less than a third of directors, creators, producers and writers in American entertainment are women. In economics, Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, has power over $8.4 trillion, enough to buy 6 Australias. And when economies like Greece, Spain and Italy begin to fail, she holds their fate in her hands. But still, only 15% of company directors in the global Fortune 500 are women. In politics, Chancellor Angela Merkel, a former quantum chemist who grew up in communist East Germany, has been described as the world's most powerful woman and the de facto leader of Europe. She rarely appears in public with her husband because she doesn't believe in celebrity and is nicknamed Mutti or Mummy by the German public. But still, right now, only 9 out of 196 countries in the world have an elected female leader. Great equalities have come in the last 100 years, but they have not led to equality in positions of power. Is the world ready?